Now that brings us further to the other two audits in this particular chapter, which is regarding the management audit, and you also have the operational audit, right? You have the management audit and the operational audit. Okay, right. And in addition to this management and operational audit, what we also need to discuss over here is the differences between. I know what are the differences that we need to study over here? MA and OA. What is MA? Management audit. What is OA? Operational audit. So one, we need to study the differences between the management audit versus the operational audit. Then you need to study what is FA? Financial audit. What is FA that I'm writing over there? Financial audit. So you need to study the differences between the financial audit versus the operational audit. And third, what I'm writing over there is the IA. What is IA? Internal audit. So the differences between the internal audit versus the operational auditing. So one side is clear, it is operational audit only. On the left hand side, it is different differences. Okay, differences between the management audit and the operational audit. Are you understanding? All these are the operational audit. Then difference between the financial audit and the operational audit, and difference between the internal audit and the operational audit. Are you understanding? This is one more discussion which we need to have. And then towards the end of the chapter, we have a discussion regarding the review of the systems and procedures, right? Towards the end of the chapter, we have a discussion regarding the review of the systems and procedures. Are you all with me? So now what we need to discuss is, one, what do you mean by the management audit? Then the questions regarding the operational audit, right? Management audit, what are we going to discuss over there? What is the meaning of the management audit, right? Then what is the purpose of getting a management audit done, right? What is the scope of the management audit, right? Then desirability, okay, why is there a need for getting a management audit done, right? What is the desirability of the management audit, right? So you have a question over there regarding the purpose and the scope, right? Then the desirability of the management audit. Then once you say that it is desirable, then organizing the management audit, right? So you have the meaning, then you have the scope, then you have the organizing the management audit. Once you organize it, then you have the procedures for conducting a management audit. Super favorite question again, right? You have the procedure for conducting the management audit. Then you have the types of reports which could be issued by the management auditor. One, you organize the management audit, and second, you organize the management audit report. So one, what you organize is the management audit. Look at the point over here, organizing the management audit. And then what you also organize is the management audit report. So organization of the report, right? So another question you have is regarding the organization of the report. And then you have some behavioral problems which are encountered, or some behavioral aspects which are encountered in the management audit. And then what are the solutions to those behavioral problems? What are the solutions to those behavioral problems? So one, meaning of management audit, then the scope of management audit, then why is there a need, the desirability, then organizing a management audit, then the procedure for conducting a management audit, what are the types of reports which could be issued by the management auditor, then you have organizing the written report, then the behavioral aspects encountered by the management auditor, and also what are the solutions to these behavioral problems, right? This is what we need to discuss regarding the management audit, right? So what are the points we need to discuss regarding management audit? Yes, everyone. Point number one, the meaning of the management audit. Second one, the scope of the management audit. Third one is the desirability of management audit. Fourth one is organizing the management audit. Fifth one is the procedure for conducting a management audit. Sixth one is the types of reports being issued. Then seventh one is the organization of the written report. Eight is the behavioral aspects encountered, and nine is the solution to these behavioral problems. Are you understanding that? Right, so that will complete our discussion regarding the management audit. And then what we also have is the operational audit. For operational audit, what we need to discuss, one is the meaning of the operational audit, also what are the qualities of the operational auditor. Sometime back we had seen the qualities of the internal auditor. Some time back we had seen the qualities of the internal auditor. Now we are going to look into the qualities of the operational auditor. Then what is the need for operational audit? From where came the need for getting an operational audit done? Then after that you have a question on the objectives of operational audit. Right, the objectives of the operational audit. And the last one over there is the types of the operational audits. What are the different types of the operational audit? So what are the questions you have over there? Meaning of operational audit, qualities of the operational auditor, the need for the operational audit, the objectives of operational audit, and the types of the operational audit. Are you understanding that? So one is the meaning, then you have the qualities of the operational auditor, then the need for the operational audit, then you have the objectives of the operational audit, and last you have the types of the operational audits. Right, you have the types of the operational audit. And then what did I tell you? You have difference between the OA and IA, operational audit and the internal audit. Then you have the difference between MA and OA, the management audit and the operational audit. Then you have the difference between the FA and the OA. What is FA and OA? Financial audit and the operational audit. And then last part of the discussion in this chapter is regarding the review of the systems and procedures. Right, last part of the chapter is regarding the review of the systems and procedures. Right, so very important for us to first lay down a foundation regarding what is it that we are going to discuss over here. So management audit, we need to discuss 9 points. Operational audit, we need to discuss the 5 points. Then we need to study 3, distinguish. And then we also need to study regarding the review of the systems and procedures. So now what we will do, we will start with review of systems and procedures. Who has to do this review of systems and procedures? Obviously the management operational auditor. That is why it has come over here, because we just talked about internal control system, na? So immediately we can talk about the systems and procedures also, right? And right now this question is trending in the exam, right? Regarding the review of the systems and procedures. I think there is some question of CA Gudiya, and the review of the systems and the procedures, right? Again, a question asked, yes, CA Gudiya, question number 33, question number 34, right, which is regarding the review of the systems and procedures, right? So these, 3 times question has been asked in the exams regarding the systems and procedures, right? Systems and procedures, and then you have these offbeat questions over there, right? So offbeat questions, we'll see them later, but right now we are seeing question number 33 and 34. Question number 33 and question number 34. Are you understanding that, everyone? What is the heading that we are discussing? No talking, please. We are talking about the review of the systems and procedures. Okay, right. So again, we had taken that example, but if we have to take an example again, like say you want to pay your advance tax, or say you want to order the food on Zomato, or say you want to place order on Myntra or Amazon or Flipkart. Right, now for all of this, for all of this, is there a system? Is there a procedure? Right, all procedures put together becomes a system, and within the procedure you have the policies. And that's why we say policies and procedures. All procedures put together become a system. That is why we say standard operating procedures. and a standard operating procedures, like as simple as, like, you want to open a new account and a Gmail account. So what is the standard operating procedure? It says new login, or whether in a new or sign in, or whether it is existing login. So you click over there, new login over there, and then after that it tells you to fill certain fields, and then you say submit. Then what does it say? It keeps on checking your password strength also, right? It says no password. If you just put the password as air, so it will say no, 3 letters not allowed, and at least minimum 8 characters. One should be the alphanumeric character, one should be uppercase, other should be lowercase. It should not be the three passwords which you've previously used, something like that. You see all those restrictions. Then there are certain fields which are marked with the asterisk. If these fields are not filled, does the form go further? No, the form does not go further. So what is that? That's a system or procedure. Like when you have to pay your advance tax, do you need to select the assessment year? Yes. Do you have to put your PAN number over there? Yes. Do you have to put the PIN code over there? Yes. Net banking or debit credit card, all this is mandatory field. If you submit it without filling this mandatory field, your form will come back. Right? Similarly, when you want to place an order on Zomato and you don't select what food items you want, or if you don't select the delivery address, will your order go further? No, they will also ask you for the payment method. And okay, what payment method? And then what does it say? Your order has been placed. Waiting for the restaurant to accept your order. Then it says your order has been accepted. Then it says your food is being prepared. Then your delivery boy is on the way. The delivery person is on the way to pick up the order. Then it says your order is out for delivery. Then it says it is 6 minutes away, 4 minutes away, and then it says the person is waiting outside. Do you understand? This is an entire system or procedure. It also has a system and procedure whether you want the cutlery or you don't want the cutlery, whether you want to give any tip to that Zomato delivery person or you don't want to give any tip over there. What is it? It's an entire system or procedure. Like even you can take the example of Ola, Uber. You understand? No, you have the app with you. So first it asks, okay, on the app, do you want to register yourself as a person who is providing the Ola Uber services, or do you want to use the Ola Uber services? Right. And then after that, it says, na, pick up location. So you say pick up current location. And then it asks for the drop location. Then what does it say? Searching for the rides in your area. And then it says, okay, these many cars are available in your area. And then it says your pickup has been confirmed. And then the car is 8 minutes away or 6 minutes away. And then it says your trip has been cancelled, or the driver has cancelled the trip, or something like that happens over there. Right? Then sometimes if you cancel it, then in your next trip the amount gets added. You understand? If you cancel it after some point of time, then in your next trip, the amount gets added over there. And then you can pay by Ola money or you can pay by cash. Right? Now, these are like day to day, like nothing for me to explain over there. This is like very, very obvious for you to experience. Or even when you go to an ATM to withdraw money, right? You go to the ATM, right? It says, you put your debit card over there. It says, please enter your PIN. Then it says, what would you like to do? Withdrawal, or whether you want to check your bank balance or so, balance inquiry or so. So you say withdrawal. Then it says, please mention the amount which you would like to withdraw. Then you mention the amount. Then it says, checks whether that much amount is there with the system or not. If it is not there, the ATM doesn't have that much money, or your bank account does not have that much money, then it says, please enter a different amount. Right? And then after that, once the amount is accepted, it says, please wait while your transaction is being processed. And then after that, the money comes out from the ATM. It says, please collect your card, and you get a message on your phone that your account has been debited by 2000 rupees. Right. So what are all these? These are all systems and procedures. What are all these? These are all the examples of the systems and procedures. Are you understanding that? Right. So does Zomato need to define a system or a procedure? Yes. Does Myntra need to design a system or a procedure? Yes. So how should the system or procedure be defined? It says it should be designed in such a way that whether that system is it properly located in the organization. Like, on Myntra, when can you place a refund order? Only or return order only after the product has been delivered to you. Till the time the product is not delivered to you, what is the option you have? You have the option of cancelling the order. But after the product has been delivered, then for 30 days, do you have an option of return over there? Yes, only after the delivery of the product for 30 days you have the option of returning the product. After 30 days, if you try, it won't allow. Then it asks, how do you want the refund? Your original source, or do you want the Myntra credit for the same? Right? So one, whether it is properly located. So first you need to add an item to your cart. There is no item in your cart and you try to place an order. You say, ma'am, how is that possible? So there is a flow, no? So one, whether it is properly located within the organization. Then, does the staff personnel have the necessary training and experience to perform the work? Right? So you should look at these fellows, you know, who do the delivery of the Blinkit and Grofers and so. And within 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 11 minutes, right? The order comes to your place. You order for a packet of bread or milk or ice cream or anything. Immediately, like, you know, they are just standing outside some grocery store. The moment an order comes, they go and pick up the item from there, put it in their bag, and they immediately deliver it, right? So they have these, you know, the small stores which they have a tie-up with. Right? So obviously the staff, do they have to be given the training? Ola, Uber staff, do they need to be given training? Zomato staff, do they need to be given the training? Yes. So what does it say? Whether you have designed the system, but does your staff have the training? Then what does it say? Has a definite program been established and has been taken for its attentive accomplishment? Right? So whether they have a proper program which has been defined, and whether finally is the productivity satisfactory? Right? So sometimes you're satisfied with the services provided by Zomato, but sometimes you say, no, 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 no. You know, the food was not received in proper condition. You know, the seal was broken and the food was very cold. The delivery came very late. So in that case, what has happened? The productivity is not satisfactory. So in the study of systems and procedures, the auditor should ask himself about these 4 P's over there. What are the 4 P's? Is it properly located? Then does the staff personnel have the necessary training and experience? Then whether company has a definite program, and then the productivity, whether it is satisfactory. Okay. Then the review of systems and procedures is required to improve the methods and to reduce the cost, such as eliminating waste and the inefficiencies. Like eliminating waste and inefficiency. You see these Amazon fellows, you know, when they are coming to a big complex, a society where there are like 800 flats or 1000 flats over there, they have done, sometimes they come in a tempo only. And they have their delivery, all the delivery they get in a big tempo or a big vehicle over there. Or then what they do, they sit in the compound of the building, and over there they sit down and, you know, do the sorting. Okay, the which tower, which apartment, which flat, which deliveries are over there. And what they do, they coordinate all the deliveries at one time. Right? So though they might have been placed at different times, but are they eliminating the waste and inefficiencies over there, rather than, you know, every time going back and then delivering it again, going back and delivering it? Makes sense. So if 10 orders are from the same building, deliver it at the same time. So what are they doing? They are eliminating the waste and the inefficiencies. Okay. And now as an auditor, after you finish your study, now you're going to do the evaluation of the system and procedure. And in evaluating the system and procedure, you have 3 considerations. What are your 3 considerations? 1, is the system and procedure meeting the current requirement? So whether it is fulfilling your current requirement. Second, what does it say? Whether it is operating effectively. And third, what is the degree of the effectiveness? So whether your current system or procedure, like sometimes you go to the income tax website and you see that it is not working. Why? Because it is down for renewal. They are making some updates. They are bringing some updates. Like even in iOS, did they get updates on the iOS also? Or any particular apps which you have on your phone? Do you get WhatsApp update? The app does it get updated? Yes. Why? Because it's meeting the current requirement. So you have to keep on checking, is it meeting the current requirement? Then whether it is operating effectively, and what is the degree of the effectiveness? That means what? Maintenance. Okay, it should not happen that out of 10, 7 times it is followed and 3 times not followed. Right? The degree of the effectiveness. So in the first, what we studied in the study of the system and procedure. Now we are talking about the evaluation of the system and procedure. First, you need to check whether it is meeting the current requirement. Second, whether it is operating effectively. And third, what is the degree of the effectiveness, right? What is the first one? What is the first one? Is the system or procedure meeting the current requirement? Now for that we have a retail question. To determine whether a system or procedure is meeting the current requirement, the following among other things should be considered. And first, whether the system or procedure is meeting the current requirement, whether it is operating effectively, and what is the degree of the effectiveness. Now, what does it say? In checking whether it is meeting the current requirement, you should consider the following among other things. So, what you need to consider, again, if you notice over there, their entire focus is on the system or procedure. Right? What does it say? System or procedure, is it designed in such a way to promote the achievement of the company objectives? Is it designed in such a way to promote the achievement of the company objectives? Then whether it operates within the framework of the organization structure. Right? So whether it is properly maintained in the organization structure. Then what does it say? Methods of control in order to obtain maximum performance with the least expenditure of the time and effort. So next point that they are talking about is the maximum performance with the least expenditure of the time and effort. Are you understanding that? Right. Then do the routines designated in the system or procedure indicate performance in a logical sequence? Like what did I tell you? Okay, first you select the product, then you add it to your cart, then you place the order, then you select the billing address, the shipping address, and then you select the payment method. So is there a logical sequence over there? Yes. Also, what does it say? There should be effective coordination between the departments. Also, what there should be? There should be the effective coordination between the departments, right? So again, these come, and they would be having the different departments over there. One department which looks into the customer complaints, one department which processes the refunds, one which looks into the return, right? So again, a different over there. Like, say sometimes some Myntra fellow comes to deliver, and then you say, no, I had actually purchased another product, and that product I've already put a return request, so can you take that back? He says, I cannot take. For that, it is assigned to some another person, so that other person will come to take it. Right? So coordinate, an effective coordination between one department and the other. And then what are the other points we have over there? 3 A's over there. What are the 3 A's over there? Whether all required functions have they been established, whether necessary authority has been designated to carry out the responsibility, and whether any changes can be made to improve the effectiveness. Right? So all required functions, authorities have been designated, and can any changes be made to improve the effectiveness? So how do I check whether the system is meeting the current requirement? Does it promote the achievement of the company objective? Right? That people become lazy at not cooking food at home. And that's the company objective of Zomato. You understand? Okay, people should prefer. Why to cook at home? It should be convenient to order it online. Okay, anyways, and to achieve the promote the achievement of the company objectives. Then what does it say? Whether it operates within the framework of the organizational structure. Then the maximum performance with the least expenditure of the time and effort. Then whether there is a logical sequence. Then whether there is the effective coordination. And also what does it say? Whether all required functions have been established, whether the authority has been designated, and whether any changes to be made to improve the effectiveness. Are you all able to follow this? Right? So one, what does it say? Study of the systems and procedures. Then it talk, so this is study. Then second one is the evaluation of the system and procedure. And in the evaluation, you have a question regarding whether the system or procedure, is it meeting the current requirement? Is it clear to everyone? Whether the system or procedure, is it meeting the current requirement? Right? Have we discussed that? Right? Is it meeting the current requirement? Okay. Right? So what does it say? What aspects should be considered by CA Gudia to determine that the systems and procedures are meeting the current requirement? Right. And in review of any systems and procedure, the management auditor must concern himself with the purpose as well as the design. Elucidate how you as a management auditor will study the system and procedural function. So study means what? The 4 P's over there. You know that, no? Study means what? The 4 P's. But then can you write the firstly, secondly, and thirdly point also over there? Yes, because you can write more over there. But what they are asking you is the study the system and the procedural functions. But again, in the suggested of ICI, they've given the entire content over there. Right. So one part of the discussion in this chapter which we wanted to have was regarding the review of the systems and procedures. Have we completed with that part of the discussion? Okay, right. So now let's come back to our original main discussion over there, which is regarding the management audit and the operational audit. Okay, right. So management audit and the operational audit. Everybody all good with review of systems and procedures? Right, review of systems and procedures, right? And in the beginning over there, they've also defined, no, what you mean by a system and procedure, right? So system is a set of objects, coming together, and procedures are the means by which the policies are implemented, right? So that is where they've defined the term systems and procedures. Okay. Right, so now let's look into these two terms, which is called as the management audit and the operational audit, right? Management audit means you are doing an audit of the management. Very simple language, what we can say, that you are doing an audit of the management. To manage means to do what? You say you are a manager, and they say he is a manager over there. So you are a manager. So what manage means exactly? What do you do? Oversee. You say he's a manager over there. This is the manager of the shop. So what does that manager do? He takes the decisions, right? To manage means to take the decision. So audit of the management means audit of the decision making of the management. Because if your decision making is right, your management is right. Are you understanding that? You are checking the quality of managing in an organization. You're checking the quality of the managing in an organization. You are evaluating the manager's ability to manage. You say, Arey, this manager is not able to do the job. Look at him, how lost he is. So you're evaluating the manager's ability to manage. Right, so this is first the management audit. It is an audit of the management, right? Whereas operational audit is an audit for the management. It is an audit which is for the management, in which you are doing the audit of the operations. What are you checking of the operations in an organization? You are checking the efficiency, right? The economy, right? The efficiency, economy, and the effectiveness of the operations in an organization. That means you are checking the quality of operations in an organization. That means you are checking the operational efficiency in an organization. That means you're checking the operational efficiency in an organization. Don't go by the name. Okay, management audit means I'm doing audit of top management. No. And a management audit is also conducted across the organization. Operational audit is also conducted across the organization. Only what is the difference? Okay, in management audit, I audit decision making. In operational audit, I audit the operation. So what is covered in management audit? Wherever a decision is taken in the organization, that is covered in management audit. So decision is taken by the clerk. So is the clerk also included in the management audit? Yes. So don't go by the name. Okay, management audit means it has to do something with the top management. Not necessarily. Do you understand? No. Wherever a decision in the organization is being taken, that is what is included in the management audit. Is it clear to everyone? Right. An operational audit, it is an audit for the management, wherein you are checking the efficiency, economy, and the effectiveness of the operations in an organization. Right. You are checking the quality of operations in an organization. Are you able to follow this? Okay. And now look over here. Now, management audit and the operational audit. Okay, if decision making is good, operational efficiency will be good. And if operational efficiency is good, then decision making will be good. Do they go hand in hand? If this company decisions are taken very quickly, so obviously their operations will run smoothly. Or you say this company operations run very smoothly, so they can take decisions very quickly. It works both way now. So that is why it is so said that this management audit and operational audit, they are complementary and supplementary to one another, right? So if you look at the question bank, you have a question over there. Management audit and operational audit are complementary and supplementary to one another. Or there is a question, management is of the strong opinion that there is no difference between management audit and the operational audit, right? So what you have to write down over there, that there is a difference between the management audit and the operational audit, but they are complementary and supplementary to one another. What is another question we have over there? Operational audit is not different from the internal audit. And what is the next question over there? Major differences between the financial audit and the operational audit. Did I tell you these three distinguished questions we have to discuss? Right, these three distinguished questions we have to discuss. Right, so right now, which question are we discussing? Difference between the management audit and the operational audit, right? What was the question number over there? Right, question number 30. Right, the question number 30. Right, question number 30, which is regarding the difference between the management audit and the operational audit. What does it say? Management audit is an audit of the management, whereas operational audit is an audit for the management. The focus of management audit is on the quality of the decision making rather than on the efficiency and effectiveness of the operation. Management audit is concerned with the quality of the managing, whereas operational audit is concerned with the quality of the operations. Are you able to understand this? Right, management audit, I'm marking it with the pink color, and operational audit, I'm marking it with the purple color over there, right? The operational audit. Are you able to follow this? Right, the basic difference between the two audits is not in the method, but it is in the level of the appraisal. In management audit, the auditor is to make tests to the level of the top management, its formulation of objectives, plans, and policies and decision making. Yes, and it is not that he just verifies the operations of controls and procedures and fulfillment of plans. That is done in the operational audit. Verifies the operation of controls and procedures and fulfillment of the plans in conformity with the prescribed policies. That is why, what does it say? These two audits are complementary and supplementary to one another. Right? That is why the management audit and the operational audit are complementary and supplementary to one another. Are you understanding? Management audit is an audit of the management. Operational audit is an audit for the management. Here you are doing the audit of the decision making of the management. Here you are doing the audit of the operations of the management, of the operations of the efficiency, economy, and effectiveness of the operations in the organization. Are you able to follow this, everyone? Difference between the management audit and the operational audit. Okay. Now, difference between financial audit and operational audit. Oh my God, I think they are so altogether different, na? And a difference between financial audit and the operational audit. What is that? Question number 32. And question number 32 is the difference between the financial audit and the operational audit. Financial auditor, he expresses an opinion on the true and fair view of the financial statements. Operational auditor, efficiency, economy, and effectiveness of the operations in an organization. Right? They report to the shareholders. This fellow, he reports to the management. Are you understanding that? Financial auditor, he will only give his findings in his report, but operational auditor, he will not only give the findings, he'll also give his recommendations for the improvement, the suggestions for the improvement. Are you understanding? And there is a, such a huge difference between the financial audit and the operational audit. Financial audit means we are talking about the stat audit, the true and fair audit. Right? So statutory auditor, he expresses an opinion on the true and fair view of the financial statements. Operational auditor, he expresses an opinion on the efficiency, economy, and the effectiveness of the operations in an organization. Right? Financial auditor, he reports to the shareholders. Operational auditor, he reports to the management. Financial auditor, he reports only the findings. Operational auditor, he will not only report the findings, but he'll also give his suggestions, the recommendations for the improvement. Are you understanding that? Okay, right. So again, what we have over here is the financial audit and we have the operational audit, right? So financial audit is concerned with the opinion that whether the historical financial information is it correct or not, whereas operational audit is concerned with the efficiency and effectiveness of the operations. Are you able to understand this? Right. Then financial audits are restricted to the matters directly affecting the appropriateness of the presentation of the financial statements, but the operational audit covers the efficiency and effectiveness of the operation directed towards the accomplishment of the objectives of the organization. Right. Then financial audit report is sent to all the stakeholders, bankers and other persons having the stake in the organization, whereas operational audit report is primarily for the management. Then the financial auditor, right, has reporting the findings to the person getting the report as its end objective, whereas operational audit is not limited to the reporting only but also giving the suggestions for the improvement, right, but also giving the suggestions or the recommendations for the improvement. Are you able to get, right, this question again asked 3 times in your exams? Distinguish between the financial audit and the operational audit. Are you all with me? What we finished discussing? Internal audit. Then what we finished discussing? Review of systems and procedure. Then we saw the distinguish between the management audit and the operational audit. Then now we have seen the distinguish between the financial audit and the operational audit. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Right, we have these now because we have to study the third distinguish. Now what is the third distinguish? Internal audit versus the operational audit. Is it right? Internal audit versus the operational audit. Where is that question? That is question number 31. Right, that is question number 31. Right, so if I come over here, right, it is coming to the question number 31, which is regarding the difference between the operational audit and the internal audit. Do you have a rough understanding of what is internal audit? Did we today discuss the definition of internal audit? Right, and did you get some idea right now regarding operational audit? Right, so now you tell me which is a broader term. Internal audit is what? Is a broader term than operational audit. This is what you think. Okay. Okay. In internal audit, I would be interested in checking the financial and the related non-financial controls, that is which indirectly affect the financial statements. I would be interested in checking those controls. But in an operational audit, I will be interested in checking the financial and all the non-financial controls also. So all administrative controls are also taken care of in the scope of the operational audit. Like say, let's take an example, right? You go to McDonald's, right, and you place an order over there for the Happy Meal or whichever meal, and you get the burger, the French fries and the Pepsi over there. Okay, now what is the internal audit role? Okay, the internal control system should be designed in such a way, okay, if a person has placed an order for one burger, if he's placed the order for one medium French fries and one regular size of the Coke, the billing should be done for these three. Say the bill comes to 282, some amount I'm mentioning over there, right? The role of the internal auditor gets over here. Okay, he needs to review the internal control system over the billing function of the McDonald's. Are you understanding? Should not happen that he's taken one type of burger but he's billed for another type of burger, or the amount has not been taken correctly. Then what you say, that controls are not operating effectively. Okay, now operational auditor, will he check this billing function? Yes, but in addition to that, he will also check that whether the order is delivered to the customer within 5 minutes of placing the order. Now, does it affect the financial statements? Okay, I go to McDonald's and I place an order for the burger, the French fries and the Pepsi, and then I pay them the 282 rupees, and then after that they give me the order in 2 minutes, or they give me the order in half an hour. Does it affect the financial statements of McDonald's? No. But does it affect the operational efficiency of McDonald's? Yes. So is this covered in internal audit? No. But does it get covered in operational audit? Yes. So operational audit is a term wider than internal audit. Rather, it can be so said that operational audit is an extension of internal audit into operational areas. Operational auditing is an extension of internal audit into the operational areas. Okay, like say if I want to check the cash controls in a company, what will I check? And okay, whether the cash has been properly recorded, whether cash expenditure is properly authorized, all these controls I will like to check. Okay, but now operational efficiency, I am saying that this company, why is it maintaining a cash balance of 2 crore every day? Every day counting 2 crore of cash takes lots of time. It says no. That is why you keep 90, out of this 1 point, yes, what you say, some amount you keep it in the bank, and only 20 lakh, it says you keep it with you. Right, 1 crore 80 lakh you deposit it with the bank, and only 20 lakh of cash is required. Every evening you're spending time counting that 2 crore again and again. So what is it? Does it affect the financial statements? No. But does it affect the operational efficiency in the organization? Yes, it does affect the operational efficiency in the organization. What you came to know that the maintenance of the plant and machinery is being done once in a month. So as an auditor, internal auditor, what I should check? Okay, there should be a control. Okay, whatever this maintenance of the plant and machinery, whatever expenditure is incurred for that, it should be charged to the profit and loss account. It should not be capitalized. Then am I happy as an internal auditor if I check this control? Am I happy as an internal auditor? Okay, yes, whenever they do the maintenance of the plant and machinery on a monthly basis, that expenditure, there is a control to ensure that it is charged to the P&L. It is charged to the profit and loss account. Okay, but operational auditor, will he check this? Yes, he will check the whether the maintenance expenditure is being charged to P&L. But he says, oh no, if you do the maintenance of your machinery once in a month, there is more breakdown of the machinery which is happening. So instead of doing the maintenance of the machinery once in a month, you should do the maintenance of the machinery once in a week. Now, does it affect the financial statements whether you maintain your machinery once in a month or every day or once in a week? No, whatever, whenever it is, it will be charged to the profit and loss account. But does it affect the operational efficiency in the organization? Yes. Right, when you studied, I think in your 11th, 12th or in your BCom years, they taught you, okay, what, for some people, they are working in some assembly department, assembly of some particular product or spare parts or something. Now, to do that assembly, they require the nuts and bolts. Okay, so now what was happening? Now say there are 50 people working in the factory layout over there, example, and the nuts and bolts are kept in one box over there. Right, so whenever you have the nuts and bolts and your nuts and bolts get over, you need to go over there. You need to bring the nuts and bolts and start doing the work. And I say you've given a small box over there. Again, it gets over, you go over there. Right, so now what happened? 50 people are working. Each of them require the nut and bolt. Right, so sometimes there is too much of rush and sometimes there is nobody over there to take the nut and bolt. And then what happens when they go over there? They waste time. They talk to each other. You understand? No. Then again, what happens when they are coming back? They dash into some another person and the nut and bolt, they fell down. And when they fall down, then again what happens? Again collecting them, again lot of chaos, operational efficiency gets affected. Operational auditor gave a suggestion. Every morning 9 o'clock when these people come to office, everybody give them tentatively how much nuts and bolts are required. Keep the 50 boxes already, don't keep that one big box over there. Operational efficiency increased by 20%. You understand? Does it affect the financial statements, whether you keep it in one box over there or you keep it in 50 boxes over here? No. Like they did the operational management audit of a hospital. And the hospital, they used to have such huge amount of garbage collection every day. Lot of medical instruments also and lot of other garbage also. Right? What they identified, now say Indian relative in a hospital. So if Indian relative is in a hospital, you know the number of people who go to visit him. You understand? No, every day evening there is a meeting, get together which happens over there. Okay, right. So anyways, now I'm going to meet over there. So going to meet, now what is the best thing to take? Coconut water. You know, generally one of the best things you can think of taking is bouquet or the coconut water or some fruits. Okay, now Indian relative is in the hospital. Say the hospital is having 500 patient beds. The hospital is working on full occupancy. On an average per relative, per patient, say 3 relatives come to meet him. Each relative, you don't take one coconut water, you take 2 coconut water at least. And you take at least the 2 coconut waters, right? So 3 relatives coming per day, each of them taking the 2 coconut waters, and likewise there are the 500 patients who are there in the hospital. So in a day, 3000 empty coconuts are there in the garbage of the hospital. Now what happens? Now you look at the size of the dustbin in the hospital, and you put one coconut, you put the second coconut, and it is full. Operational auditor said that please stop allowing coconuts into your hospital. Whichever relatives want to get the coconut, or wherever the doctor has prescribed that the patient needs to take the coconut water, that coconut water should be poured into a container, or it should be put in a polythene bag or something, and then you should bring it into the hospital. You know, coconuts are not allowed to be got inside the hospital. What happened with that? The garbage collection of the hospital decreased by more than 50%, and it decreased by more than 50%, because you just imagine, no, such big coconuts over there every day in the garbage collection. Just one finding of the operational auditor, and it reduced the efficiency of the operations. Are you understanding that? Okay, right. Now what did it say? Originally, when the concept of operational audit came, originally when the concept of the operational audit came, that time there was a difference between internal audit and the operational audit. That time operational audit was a wider area than the internal audit, but today's internal audit function, it covers all the areas covered in operational audit also. So today there is no difference between internal audit and operational audit. Traditionally, was there a difference between the internal auditor and the operational auditor? Yes, but modern internal audit and operational audit, is there any difference between the two? No. And earlier there used to be a difference between a daughter and a daughter-in-law. In today's time there is no difference between a daughter and a daughter-in-law anyways, right? Don't write this in exam. Huh? Right. So anyways, and we are talking traditionally there was a difference. And at that time what was wider in scope was the operational audit. But what does it say? Modern internal audit and operational audit, there is no difference between the two. So traditionally, right? And then now they talk about, and just look, reading the last sentence over there first. Today, however, the concept of the, yes, I'm reading the conclusion part over there. Today, however, the concept of the modern internal audit suggests that there is no difference in internal and the operational audit. In fact, the scope of internal audit is broad enough to embrace the areas covered by operational audit as well. The modern internal audit not only performs the protective, but it also performs the constructive functions. Traditionally, what used to happen? Only the internal auditor used to perform only the protective functions, whereas the operational auditor used to perform the protective as well as the constructive functions. But today what has happened? The internal auditor itself does both the protective as well as the constructive functions, right? So today there is no difference between the internal audit and the operational audit. Once upon a time there was a difference between the two. That time which was broader? The term operational audit was wider than internal audit. Rather, you know, in the beginning of the chapter, we saw the scope and objective of the internal audit function. What was the point in the scope and objective of the internal audit function? Review of the operating activities. And all operating activities, financial, non-financial, administrative, all covered. Review of financial and operating information. They are not saying only examination of financial information. So are all operational activities also covered in today's internal audit? Are all operational activities also covered in today's internal audit? Yes, right? So let us look into the distinguish between the, it's not distinguish, it is more like a similarity now, because you have to write traditionally and modern internal audit. Right? Traditionally, internal auditors have been engaged, right? So internal audit, and then you have the operational audit. So what does it say? Traditionally, internal auditors have been engaged in some sort of a protective function, deriving their authority from the management. They view and examine the internal controls in the finance and accounting areas to ensure that possibilities of of loss, wastage, and fraud are not there. They check the accounting records and the books to see whether the internal checks are properly working and the resulting accounting data is reliable. And this is traditionally what is done by the internal auditor. For example, when the internal auditor looks into the voucher to see whether they corroborate with the entries in the cash book or physically examines the cash in hand, he is doing his traditional protective function. The moment he concerns himself whether customer complaints are duly attended, whether cash balance is in excess to the need, he comes to the operational field. And okay, why they are maintaining cash balance of 2 crore every day, why they are doing maintenance of plant and machinery once in a month, they should do it once in a week. Now it says you are coming into the operational field. He will review the operational control on the cash to determine whether the maximum protection, possible protection has been given to the cash. Right. So the basic difference that exists in the conceptualization of the technique of the operational auditor in the auditor's role is recommending the corrective actions and installing systems and controls. So protective as well as constructive function. Did I say that? Operational auditor not only protective, but it also provides the constructive services, recommending. A further distinction should be observed between traditional internal audit and the operational audit. It lies in the attitude and approach to the whole auditing proposition. Every aspect of the operational audit program should be geared to. So now internal audit, your focus is only on the financial statements, accounting controls and so. But operational audit, where is your focus on? It says should be geared to the management policy, management objectives and management goals. So I told you, it's not only that the order should be served within 5 minutes to the customer. That is the objective. So it doesn't matter whether customer has already paid 282 rupees or what, whether billing is correctly done. What is the objective? That the order should be served within 5 minutes. Are you understanding that, right? So it gears itself, operational audit gears itself to the achievement of the management policies, objectives and the goals. Then the main objective of operational audit is to verify the fulfillment of the planned and sound business requirement, as also to focus on the objectives and the achievement objectives, right? To achieve those objectives. The operational auditor should not only have a proper business sense, but also should be equipped with the thorough knowledge of the policies, procedures, systems and control, right? What does it say? He should be intimately familiar with the business, its nature, problem and prospect and the environment. So anyways, they started talking about the description of the operational auditor over here, right? But what is the last line over there? Today, however, the concept of the modern internal audit suggests that there is no difference between the internal and the operational audit. Are you understanding that? Right. So have we completed with the three distinguish over there? What are the three distinguish which we had? Distinguish between the management audit and the operational audit. Distinguish between the financial audit and the operational audit. And distinguish between the internal audit and the operational audit. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Right. What is the chapter that we are discussing? Right, the internal audit, management audit and the operational audit. Okay, right, what we did, internal audit we did, then we are going back way. How we are doing? Review of systems and procedures. Then we studied the three distinguished. Now we look into the operational audit. What is operational audit? In which you check the three E's. Which are the three E's? Efficiency, economy and the effectiveness of the operations in an organization. Right, efficiency, economy and the effectiveness of the operations in an organization. So now say, like, let's take an example of a big store. Like a big store could be like an IKEA. Right, IKEA furniture store, it is so huge, there's so much of inventory over there, so many people coming, and not only people come over there to buy the furniture, they say their canteen is very good, so most of the people even come to eat food over there in the canteen of IKEA or so, right? And then also when I'm talking about this operational audit, like just imagine, okay, why did this concept come? Today there is no difference between internal and operational audit, but is operational audit required under any law? Is operational audit required under any law? Is management audit required under any law? No. But voluntarily, when would a company go for these types of audit? When they know there is some operational inefficiency, when they know there is some problem in the decision making of the management, only then they will opt for these type of audit. Now, see, tax audit, internal audit, stat audit, these come under the compulsory category, but operational audit, management audit as such is not required under any law. Okay, so now, you know what happened, say in this operational audit over there, like let's take the example of say Starbucks. Okay, so now Starbucks not only having its operations in the US, originally they only had, or this Tim Hortons, you know, which is now again coming in India also, right? So what does it say, like Starbucks? Okay, now Starbucks is having its, what you say, Starbucks outlet not only in US, it is having it in India, it is having it in so many other countries. In India, it is not only having it, the first Starbucks in India opened in Mumbai, right? And then later in Delhi, and now you see every city is having so many Starbucks over there, right? So in India, it is having Starbucks in so many states. In so many states, it is having in so many cities. In so many cities, they are having so many number of these Starbucks. Are you understanding? And this I'm just talking about India. They are having a Starbucks in Japan also, Singapore also, any other country also, right? They have the Starbucks over there. So I don't know the numbers, but just as an example, if I take, say there are some 10,000 Starbucks stores across the world and outlets across the world. Okay. Now, would there be some top management of the Starbucks? I know the owners, the top management of the organization over there, would they be there? Yes. And now, one particular Starbucks in the city of Chennai, over there, there is a problem with the billing function. Will the top management ever come to know about it? No, why? Because there are layers of delegation of authority and responsibility. And the top management has been separated from the actualities in the organization. Why have they been separated from the actuality? Due to the layers of delegation of the authority and responsibility. I know. So the top management, they do not know what are the problems which are there at the ground level. Like, you know, even when I talk about the airlines, okay, like Indigo Airlines, it operates some 400, 500 flights every day, right? They go from one location to another location. Each flight on an average has a capacity of say 180 passengers. 180 Indian travelers, Indian passengers traveling, they carry maximum luggage with them. You understand? No, full capacity, 15 kg allowed, so 15 kg will be the, you know, the check-in bag, and 8 kg or 7 kg will be the handbag over there. Okay, and now they say, you know, in the London Heathrow Airport, they had an observation. They please suggested people that please don't buy black color bags. You know, because maximum of the bags which are there at the airport over there, which have been lost or which have been, you know, you take somebody's bag by mistake, is happening with the black color bag. Okay, and then it said, now just imagine, okay, what happened, okay, you picked up, you know, you went to a airport and then you had to take a flight, you gave your bag for check-in, and then you reach to the other place, and then you again wait for your bag to be received over there, and you reach over there and you come to know that, oh, your bag was never put on the flight only. You understand? Your bag went into some other flight only. It has reached to some other location only. Now see, in terms of financials, it doesn't affect. And does it affect the financials of the airline? No, your ticket was 12,000 rupees, 12,000 rupees paid. Yes. Has it been recognized as revenue? Yes. But now look at the trouble for you. And you have to first go shopping over there because now you are without a bag. Right? Then after that, now you have to file a complaint. Go to the kiosk over there. Then they will arrange for sending your bag from that particular location over there. Right now in London, so they say we are not going to arrange for sending your bag also. You come or send some of your relative to collect the bag. You know, they say we are not having the arrangements. It's like flooded with bags over there. They've stopped the suspended many flights from coming over there. Why? Because they are not able to handle the level of operations over there. Right? So that's a classic example of an operational inefficiency over there. Today's time, if you go to some particular airports which are very busy, they almost look like a railway station. And more so when nowadays on the airport also people just put their bag down and they sleep over there. You understand? They just put their bag, they are sitting here and there, everywhere. So, you know, sometimes you're confused. Okay, am I at an airport or am I at a railway station or so? Right. So, anyways, what we are talking about now, how would the top management of the airline come to know, okay, one particular customer is very, very annoyed because his bag was misplaced or because his bag was not put only on the flight? Right. So, the top management has been separated from the actualities in the organization. Why they have been separated? Due to the layers of delegation of the authority and the traditional sources of information. They fail to provide the information to the top management for decision making. What were the traditional sources of information? The departmental managers report, the surveys, the internal audit report. It says these traditional sources of information are not giving the information which is required by the top management for decision making, and that is why arose the need for the operational audit. I know. So we have one question over there, which is the third one in my list over here. Okay, what is the need for the operational audit, right? So what is the need for the operational audit? It says due to the inadequacy of the traditional sources of information, where the top management is separated from the actual operations due to the layers of delegation of responsibility. There are areas which are beyond their direct observation, and these conventional sources of information fail to provide the information. And what are these conventional sources of information? Right, the executives and managers are too preoccupied. Oh my god, again look at the English. And the executives and managers are too preoccupied with implementation of plans and achieving targets. They may come across problems that have come to the surface, but they are hardly aware of the problems that are brewing and potential. And so what future problems might come? Then managers or their aides are generally relied upon for transmitting information rather than for booking information or for analyzing the situation. Conventional internal audit reports are routine, historical, and mechanical in character. Other performance report contained in the annual audited accounts and the routine reports prepared by the operating department have their own limitation. Surveys and special investigations are occasional in nature. They are costly, time consuming, and keep the departmental personnel busy when they are on it. Right? They basically an attempt to carry out a post-mortem rather than to enlighten management about ways on improvement or to give signals for dangers and disasters to come. Okay, so what does it say? The traditional sources of information fail to provide. What are the traditional sources of information? Can this be a retail question in your exams? Yes. What are the traditional sources? Executives and managers. Then again the managers. Then the conventional internal audit report, other performance report, and the surveys and special investigation. These are the inadequate and inadequacy of the traditional sources of information, and the top management has been separated from the actualities. Why it has been separated from the actualities? Due to the layers of delegation of the responsibility. There are areas which are beyond their direct supervision, and that is why arose the need for the operational audit. Are you able to understand this, everyone? Need for the operational audit, right? So have we discussed this one question over there? One, the meaning, and second also the need for the operational audit, right? So we take a break and then we shall continue.